Okay. So this is actually interesting. Let me explain some things. I kind of repeated myself in accident, but so I'm gonna try and draw this one for you too. Hold on, give me a second. So there is a couple of things going on. So whenever your brain is born, right? That's supposed to be a brain. Give me a second. Hold on. Oh, that made it worse. That made it worse. And there we go. Now it's a brain. Whenever your brain is born, it has a couple of areas of life that it's figuring out, right? For the most part, it gets hungry. It gets upset. You're hungry and you have emotions. That's for the most part. That's where you start, right? And then after a while, you develop an area of sexual exploration. So we have hunger and how to please that, and then you have emotions and how to keep those happy. And so as you interact with life, you keep up a log that develops and grows further and further for answers and strategies, and not strategies, but things that you know work to keep this area of life calm. So you got hunger, you have your emotions, and then eventually you reach the point in which you have sex. And this starts a bit of a sexual log, which your sexual log starts off like this. It's very small. Like there's like a moment. You see an adult video DVD somewhere for the first time and you're confused. Or two people kiss on TV and you don't understand what's happening. Stuff like that. That really starts off the frustration, right? Now, I am going to express that as you develop your sexual understanding, it goes through phases of change. There's the initial stage in which you don't really know what right or wrong is, and you're just kind of going through whatever's happening without any real confirmation of what's going on. And then you reach a point in which you learn. There's a layer that you reach, a pass, a fold, really, that you start to see that there is a greater rule or a greater understanding to whatever all of this is. And that creates a bit of a gate in which you no longer feel that you need to hold yourself accountable for anything that you've done or anything that's happened to you, right? And so I did not mean to make that look like a cellular thing, but here is how it kind of works. So imagine at the beginning of life, you are somewhat like a coding machine. And like most coding machines, you start off with the same question, the same little greeting, hello world, right? And let's call this a sexual understanding log. And the sexual understanding log, the first thing that you're asking is, what is this? What is going on? What the hell? That's the first thing you're asking, right? And so a sexual log would be something like this. There are events in between, but event occurs, it feels strange, I don't dislike it. Curiosity, right? And then sometime later, you can have another event that is, I am punished for saying the word sex. Confused, right? Stuff like that. This is stuff that develops into that growing understanding that helps you recognize what's going on. Now, I'm going to give you pretty much the rundown of my early sexual log as it is for me, and where I started to develop the sexual consciousness that I have today. So it starts off like this one. Hello world, what is this? Event occurs, it feels strange, I don't dislike it. Everyone is happy after. Initial setting is, this pleases a couple of things. My emotions, no one is upset, I'm not distressed, and we got to eat popcorn or something, but not popcorn, what do we get to eat? Was it popcorn? What do we make? It's something that you could put in the microwave. You know, hunger was satisfied, emotions were satisfied, there was no distress, and just some minor curiosity. You don't even know what's going on, right? And the event obviously is like, I remember there was this one time that, I don't know how young I was like in first grade, but me and this girl were like on the bus in school, and we were just touching each other underneath this blanket that we had for some reason. And I don't even know what the hell was going on. Like that memory is so weird, bro. I don't understand that. That's one of the events. And the next event is obviously me being molested by my older, like uncle and aunt, but they were like preteens at the time. And I don't know how old I was, right? So, this makes people happy, right? Everyone is happy after. I don't dislike it. There is not conflict. It feels strange, but no one is upset, right? So I move on. Event occurs a couple of times. followed by happy response. There's no distress, there's no problems, I'm not punished, no one is punished, nothing goes wrong, I see no problem with it, right? Now, some time passes, and I am eventually punished by my mother for saying the word sex. I don't even understand what's happening. I don't even understand what's happening. Now, I have learned a little bit by this point that secrecy is necessary, that it's just naturally secretive, simply because I don't know what I'm doing yet, and all school is doing is checking to see if I know what I'm doing. Everything I'm doing up to that point is testing me to see if I know what's going on, and if I don't get to get video games anymore. If I don't know what I'm doing, I don't get to get video games anymore. So it's already kind of an instinctual thing, right? But at this point, it is confirmed that when they know, they are not happy. But there are still times in which, when they didn't know, nothing went wrong. And so there's a bit of a confusion in this area, confusion, right? So time goes on, and while I'm confused, I still don't understand right or wrong. But I am just now getting to develop this pass here, this little area in which I can start seeing that there are greater rules. So the event occurs this time. I am the older one this time. Now I put here that everyone is happy after, but I can't confirm that. I can confirm that no one is upset, that that nothing goes wrong, that nothing goes bad, and I'm only following the logical path of what has occurred to me at that point. And so I continue on. I watch Lovely Bones, and Lovely Bones is such a crazy movie, and then I'm just like, I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, I'm so confused, and I'm maybe like, let's say I'm 9 to 11 at this time. I'm 9 to 11, and I'm just like, what the hell is going on, bro? And so this is when I start getting a little bit more conscientious. This is when I start saying, what's going on? Like, what is this? Like literally, what is this? What is all this? I start getting confused, and I don't know. But at the same time, I'm preteening. I'm becoming more sexually active. I'm becoming more sexually curious in the first place. So I start getting into porn, and I start getting into, like, I get in trouble for buying pay-per-view porn at my aunt's house. A real thing that I don't even know how to feel about that anymore. A real thing that I did too, and it was in the living room, and I was just kind of like, I was just like watching it, and I was looking over my shoulder, and if I thought I heard somebody open the door, I was just gonna change the channel right quick. That's what I did. And I thought I was just gonna be getting away with, but another thing. So there's some other events, right? But eventually, let's say I get in trouble, right? I get in trouble, and I don't get in trouble because of something I've done. I get in trouble because of something that someone else has done, and as they honestly express what's going on, because it's assumed that they're going through all of this as well. They're confused, and they're just trying to figure it out as well, right? Nobody knows what they're doing at this point. And they have yet to pass this greater sexual understanding that there's something going on here that we need to kind of be more responsible about, right? So everything is honestly expressed until it gets back to me. Now I'm confused. I'm confused here. I don't know what to do. So I honestly express it myself. And I express it all the way back to these earlier events. And I'm told that these events happened too long ago, so there is nothing that can be done about them by a statute of limitation, right? Let's keep going. Let's just keep going. Hold on. What is this? Why am I paused here? I think there are some people who are afraid of me saying anything. I'm not really concerned about that. I go to boot camp. Juvenile detention boot camp, right? And I'm told a couple of times that I'm just a horrible person. They put me through therapy. They correct all the damage that was done here. They say, this is why you can't do that. This is what it does. This is all this, right? And by the time I'm done, I'm like a genius. I'm like, I can explain to you the right and wrong of sex back and forth like the back of my hand. And I'm glad that it happened. I'm glad that I went through all that, right? So now I have passed that point of understanding, right? And regularly, And I know this is what's going on. I know that these guys right here have that going on. There are things that they did before they knew what they were doing that they don't hold themselves accountable for, but they keep it a secret. I know that's true for everyone. I know that's true for everyone. I know that because of the things that I see people doing today. I know that that is true. That's 100% true. So, that explains everything up to that point. Now, today, I'm at a point where consent is very competitive. Like, if I have sex, then there's like a guy like down the street that's gonna fucking threaten to blow up a fucking hospital if he can't understand why I got to have sex and he didn't. And that's where I am in this log. That's where I am in my sexual development. That's where I am right now, is figuring out how to get these guys to stop fucking threatening people so that I can just have sex without fucking being concerned about it. Because it's one thing to try so hard to get laid, but it's another thing to be so fucking worried about it while I'm not doing it. And so it's just very confusing, right? So all of that explains the situation. Yeah, all of that explains it. And I know for a fact that everybody has this. So I don't know. I'm saying that for security. I know what I'm doing. So yeah, that explains it. I mean, that's everything. All right, I'm done.